Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to getting genuinely well-informed, maybe with a few surprising facts, and hopefully just enough humor to keep things interesting.
Absolutely. Happy to be diving in.
Today, we're embarking on, well, quite an exploration. We're looking at one of the most foundational texts out there, the Bhagavad Gita.
A cornerstone.
And specifically, we're zoning in on its very first chapter, Adhyay 1 Arjuna Vishada Yoga.
Which, translates roughly as the yoga of the despondency of Arjuna. It sounds a bit heavy, maybe.
It does, but it's crucial. We're drawing insights from some really compelling excerpts titled Arjuna's Dilemma, the Dawn of Bhagavad Gita Wisdom.
Right. And our goal here, our mission for this deep dive, is to really unpack the psychological foundation this chapter sets up.
Exactly, and figure out why it still matters so much today, its relevance to our modern lives. So yeah, let's jump right in.
Okay, what's really fascinating, I think, right off the bat is how this opening chapter isn't just like setting the scene for a big battle.
No, it's more than that.
It's really laying the groundwork for this incredibly personal internal transformation, something that honestly we can all probably relate to on some level.
Totally. So let's paint the picture. The chapter kicks off on this huge, vast plain, Kurukshetra.
The famous battlefield.
Yeah, and you've got these two massive armies facing each other. The Pandavas on one side, the Kauravas on the other, poised for this epic war.
The tension must have been unbelievable. You can almost feel it, can't you? That heavy silence before the storm.
And just to give a bit more context, maybe, these aren't just random armies.
Oh, not at all. The Pandavas and the Kauravas, they're cousins. This is a family feud, a dynastic struggle over a kingdom that's escalated into this, well, practically a world war for their time.
Understanding that scale, that intensity, it's really key to grasping the emotional weight that's about to land on our main guy, Arjuna.
Right. He's the central figure here.
Exactly. So Arjuna, he's this legendary warrior, right? Known for his skill, his bravery, and he makes a request to Lord Krishna,
who's acting as his charioteer. But he's much more than just a driver, obviously. He's Arjuna's guide, his divine counsel.
Right. And Arjuna says, essentially, take me to the middle. Place our chariot right there between the two armies.
He wants to see who he's up against. Survey the field, see the faces of the enemy. Standard warrior stuff, you'd think.
But this is where everything changes. It takes this completely unexpected, breathtaking turn. Because what Arjuna sees, it's not just an anonymous enemy force.
Yeah, that initial resolve you mentioned, that kind of steely warrior focus, it just shatters dramatically in an instant.
And it's described as just gut-wrenching. He looks across and he doesn't just see soldiers, he sees people he knows, he recognizes them.
See his own family.
His revered teachers, his uncles, his cousins, even close friends, all standing there on the other side, ready to fight him, ready to kill and be killed.
Wow.
The source material really paints this picture of a sudden, overwhelming wave of sorrow, of deep confusion just washing over him. It paralyzes him.
And this intense inner turmoil, this breakdown, really.
Yeah.
It leads him to make this incredibly pivotal declaration.
Yeah, this is the core moment of the chapter, isn't it? He literally drops his bow, his famous Gandiva bow. Think about that symbol.
An unbelievable act for a warrior in that moment. Total defiance, but not of the enemy.
No, defines the whole situation, maybe. He turns to Krishna, calls him Govinda, which is, another name for Krishna, emphasizing that deep connection. He says, Govinda, I shall not fight.
I can't do this.
Exactly, and it's not just, oh, I'm scared. The reasons he gives, that's where it gets so profound, so human.
Precisely. Because Arjuna is completely torn, utterly conflicted. On one hand, you've got his duty, his Kshatriya dharma.
His role as a warrior, a prince. He's supposed to fight for justice, protect the righteous, uphold the kingdom. That's his job, his sacred obligation.
But on the other hand, there are his raw human emotions. Love for his family, loyalty to his teachers, this absolute horror at the thought of the carnage.
He sees the destruction not just of people, but of family bonds, of tradition, of the whole social fabric. He fears the loss of righteousness itself.
And that intense internal battle, that overwhelming despair and confusion and, despondency, that's Vishada.
Ah, so that's the core meaning.
Yeah, it's not just being sad or afraid, it's a deep, paralyzing crisis of meaning and purpose. His whole worldview is collapsing.
That image of him, the great warrior, just putting down his bow and slumping in the chariot, it's incredibly powerful symbolism, isn't it?
It really is. It's the ultimate surrender, but not to the enemy army. He's surrendering to this overwhelming internal conflict.
It's like his world just imploded.
Yeah.
Right there in the middle of this huge battlefield about to kick off a war.
And if we kind of zoom out, look at the bigger picture here. This chapter teaches something really quite profound.
What's that?
Well, the surprising thing isn't just that even the strongest, most capable person like Arjuna can be hit by doubt, fear, overwhelming emotional pain. We kind of know that happens.
Right.
The real surprise, the way the Gita presents it, is that this moment of ultimate vulnerability, this breaking point, it's not seen as a failure.
Okay. So what is it then?
It's framed as the essential starting point, the necessary precondition for real wisdom, for genuine spiritual understanding to even begin. It's like a sacred pause.
Ah, okay. So it's not a flaw to be fixed, but a doorway.
Exactly. It's the crack where the light gets in, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's the necessary ground for transformation, not just an obstacle.
So, okay, let's connect that. What does this all mean for us listening now? This moment of weakness for Arjuna? It's clearly not the end of his story.
Not at all.
The source material really reframes it powerfully, doesn't it? It calls it the unexpected beginning of his transformation. It suggests that those moments in our own lives, when we feel totally lost, confused, maybe even broken, they aren't necessarily failures. They could actually be spiritual turning points.
That's the potential, yes. And this is where Arjuna's ancient dilemma becomes incredibly relevant. It really mirrors the kinds of choices and conflicts we face constantly in our modern world.
We might not be standing on a literal Kurukshetra with bows and arrows.
Hopefully not.
But we definitely have our own internal battlefields, don't we?
Absolutely. Think about the examples the source gives, or just ones from everyday life.
Like what?
Like, do I chase my passion even though it feels risky and unstable, or do I stick with the safe, stable job that maybe drains my soul? That's a battle.
Oh yeah, big one. Or do I speak up about something I think is wrong, even if it causes conflict or makes me unpopular? Or do I just stay silent to keep the peace?
Exactly. Or even, do I fight for what I believe is right if it means potentially hurting someone I care about or making myself really vulnerable?
That constant push and pull, that internal wrestling match of should I or shouldn't I? That's it, isn't it? That's our kind of mini Kurukshetra playing out inside us.
That's what the source calls our inner Geeta. It's our own personal war between doubt and wisdom, confusion and clarity, fear and courage. It happens daily.
Which then leads to a really important question for you, listening.
Yeah. Where are you fighting your inner Geeta right now? What decision, what situation is pulling you in those two different directions? That's worth reflecting on.
It's such a universal experience when you frame it like that. And what's really interesting is how this first chapter actually ends.
It doesn't offer a quick fix, does it?
No solution. It concludes not with an answer, but with this deliberate, really profound pause. Arjuna has put down his weapons, literally and metaphorically. He's just sitting there, lost.
And that pause, that silence, is incredibly significant because in that space, Arjuna does something crucial. He surrenders.
But not to the fear, right?
No, not to the fear or the despair itself. He surrenders to the possibility of wisdom. He turns to Krishna. He basically says, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. Please guide me.
Admitting I don't know.
Exactly. And it's that act of acknowledging his own confusion, his Vishada, and actively seeking guidance, seeking a higher truth. That's what the source identifies as the real beginning of spiritual growth.
It's the humility to say, I need help. I'm ready to learn.
Precisely.
Wow, what an incredible amount of depth just in this opening chapter. So if we boil it down, the core insight seems to be that acknowledging, really facing up to our deepest internal conflicts, like Arjuna did.
Even when it feels terrifying or shameful.
Right. That act itself can be the most powerful, maybe unexpected starting point for some really profound personal growth and understanding.
Well said. And that brings us to a final thought, maybe something for you to take away and consider.
Okay, let's hear it.
How might recognizing your own Vishada moments, those times you feel that deep doubt, that despair, that internal conflict, how might seeing those moments not as failures, but as the essential first step towards gaining greater clarity, resilience, and maybe even wisdom in your own life?
Flipping the script on despair, essentially. Seeing it as a call to attention rather than a dead end, that's definitely something to mull over.
Indeed.
And the exciting part, of course, is what comes next. The source material clearly sets the stage. Krishna has been silent, just listening patiently.
The divine listener.
But now Arjuna has asked for help. So Krishna is about to speak. He's about to begin imparting the incredible wisdom that makes up the rest of the Bhagavad Gita.
And that's where the real teachings begin.
Exactly, and we'll definitely be exploring that profound conversation, Krishna's first teachings, in our next deep dive, so make sure you join us for that.